Hello, and welcome to Adventures in Visibility. Today we have an adventure in creating more buzz on the web. I'm Denise Wakeman, your host of Adventures in Visibility and your guide to more and better visibility on the web. You can get advance notice of these events if you would like to do that instead of waiting to hopefully see it on Google+. But you can get advance notice by going to adventuresinvisibility.com. You're also welcome to tweet about the show, and you can use the hashtag AdventuresInVisibility, and that way I will see it and can give you a shout out. Today, my guest is Laura Rubinstein, and she is the co-founder of Social Buzz Club, and we're going to be talking about how to amplify your content and get more social buzz on the web. Let me give you a short bio for Laura before we get started, and I'm going to read it so I don't mess it up, okay? So you may see me looking down. Laura Rubinstein is the co-founder of Social Buzz Club and an award-winning social media and marketing strategist. She has optimized marketing plans for over 1,000 small businesses and is creator of the Social Media Blast-Off course. She is also the author of the forthcoming book, Social Media Myths Busted. I really can't wait to see that because that sounds very intriguing. I want to see what myths get busted. You can also find her at her blog at transformtoday.com, and there's many other places you'll be able to reach her too and find her and connect with her. They're all posted in the description area on the event page here. So welcome, Laura. Thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me today. I'm excited to be here and have an adventure in visibility with you.
Yes, well, I call them adventures because you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes technology is finicky, and so I just like to make sure that everybody knows that we do our best to make sure everything happens flowing as it should, and I would say that 98% of the time it does. So, but we just go with it, go with the flow. So far, so good today.
Awesome.
So, my first question that I'm going to ask isn't about building buzz or anything, but it sort of helps me and my audience to get a little bit of sense of who you are. So, my first question is: are you an introvert or an extrovert?
I tend towards the extrovert side, but I definitely have a sense of not wanting to retreat at times. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't say I'm the most extroverted, but I'm out there. Okay. I will be welcoming you to the party or to our row in the airplane if you're my seatmate. I will be extroverting to you.
Okay, well that's a good way to put it. So maybe you might consider yourself an ambivert.
An ambivert, yes, I am. I'm very ambidextrous too.
Okay, well then that's perfect. That's perfect. And I ask because there's a lot of introverts in my community. I personally am an introvert, and I work with quite a few people who consider themselves introverts. So it's always curious for me to see, when I'm talking with business owners like yourself, to find out where people fall in that spectrum. So, okay. Mm-hmm. Now we'll get into the topic of the show.
Okay.
And that is about, how to amplify content and build more buzz on the web. And you'll have to remind me, but I know you've co-founded Social Buzz Club, and I can't remember, has it been 3 years, 2 years?
It's been just about 3 years that we launched in beta.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, time flies. I know I'm one of your charter members, so I was very curious because I love repurposing content and amplifying it out there, and you've built a tool or a site, I should say, that really helps a lot of people do that. So why don't you give us a little bit of the background of Social Buzz Club? How did it come into being, and what was the purpose behind that?
Well, I met Catherine through a course we took, and we started implementing all of our social media training with our clients. I've been in marketing for over 22 years, and I'm just wondering, can people see me at this time? Yep. Okay, yep. Great. So, I started doing this with clients, and the biggest quandary we had was, how do we get them more visibility, right? How do we leverage the power of our networks and truly support the community growth for ourselves, for our clients? And we realized that if we could collaborate, and help each other, that we'd all benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So engagement and visibility are keys to a successful business growth and community growth on social media. And we really wanted to use this process of collaboration and reciprocity and kind of those higher concepts of collaboration that would help people grow their visibility. And that's why we created the Social Buzz Club. We were brainstorming. I was like, how can we collaborate? How can we do buzz marketing for each other? And then I was familiar with buzz marketing from on the street kind of buzz marketing, and then I'm like, but then we have social media, so we birthed the Social Buzz Club as a result. And when you come in, you land on the Buzz feed, which is a great place for I'm really proud of all the members who post incredible content. It's not spam. It's useful, valuable, interesting information, and depending on what you want to share, you get the complete choice to organically share content and get rewarded for it by, first of all, just in you curating other people's content, you look like a hero to your networks because you're sharing value. And you're also a hero to the person you've shared for because you're giving them your third-party endorsement by doing that. And so there's an inherent reward. In our system, we play a game, you get points, and you can redeem those points to submit your own content as well. So there's a gamification aspect that makes it fun, and you have the ability to schedule it out, so you're not just spewing out a whole bunch of content at once. You can schedule it out, and you can just come into the Buzz Club periodically and do that. And then you can submit your content for other people to share as well.
Who is it designed for specifically? Do you have a specific kind of buzzer in mind?
Well, the buzz people we have. So you hear the word content a lot, right? So somebody who's a content expert, somebody who loves to give of their expertise, typically in blog posts or articles online, even videos. And those people usually wind up being thought leaders, speakers, authors, bloggers, bloggerpreneurs. I made that word up.
Yeah,
so,
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that word before. Solopreneur,
My word.
Okay, all right. We've heard a new word here today. Bloggerpreneur. Like it.
Yeah, it's cool. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes,
it's
it does.
Someone who's going to build their blog and build their business kind of simultaneously. Online marketers, social media marketers are also virtual assistants are great because they have clients with content, and hopefully they help their clients create content. So anybody who's in the writing, speaking, coaching, consulting, content creating, marketing fields, blogging, are perfect. And that would include like entrepreneurs in real estate, design, anyone who has valuable information. People are craving value. They don't want to be sold to, but if you give them some piece of wisdom that helps them do something better in their life or feel better in their life, then that's the kind of content we get.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense because we've all been taught over the last few years that content marketing is king, queen, the knight, you
name it.
Whatever, content marketing rules. So it's around creating the content. So in terms of the amplification of the content, what makes it what do you need to be really focused on if you want people to be choosing your content to share with their networks, to amplify for you?
Well, sometimes I feel like a copywriting coach, even though I'm not an expert copywriter, but the first rule is to create a compelling headline. So something that draws people in, and what I've seen in the Buzz Club that gets shares are the how-to, da-da-da-da-da. 3 steps to. So anything you'd find yourself wanting to click on and share, make sure your headline says that too. Infographics get shared too. So if you have a blog post with an infographic, put that in the headline in brackets. That usually gets a lot of attention as well. And I love the Canva app now, that canva.com. You can create infographics right there. So
Yeah,
it's now
yeah.
easy to do if you want. So
Yeah,
yeah, so
shout
that
out to
kind of stuff.
Canva.
Shout out to Canva. We love you. You're on my hot list right now. So
Yeah, yeah, mine too. I use it all the time. And you know, I agree with you that using the bracket idea is really helpful for giving people an idea of what they're going to find inside. So if it's a
mm,
video, I'll often put video in brackets because people like to watch videos too. So, you know, infographics, whatever it is, like letting them know if there's an audio or a podcast or that sort of thing. It helps let people know what's coming up. So what you've mentioned that titles are really a key element of getting your content amplified. What else would you say is going to really help you stand out so people choose your content?
well, amplify others. You're going to stand. I'm going to stand out to you, Denise, if I'm sharing your stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I am sharing your stuff, you're going to be more likely to reciprocate, right? So be a generous giver, and don't forget when you're in our Buzz Club, if you're submitting content to be shared, if you're submitting a tweet, put your own Twitter handle in the tweet. So I put my own Twitter handle in there so I can know when you're quote unquote mentioning me, and then I know who to reciprocate to. So be seen
Mm-hmm.
that way, and just make it easy. When your blog should be clean, and when people go there and they click to see it, it shows value. So you have to have something so the compelling headline has to match the content,
Mm-hmm.
quality, and then be a giver and shout out to other people. Reach out to them. We have a Facebook group as well that you can be interacting with people and know who they are and create relationships. I know you've created relationships out of the Social Buzz Club. But you do that, then you get more visibility because you have those deeper connections.
Right. It all comes down to the relationships, doesn't it?
Always. It always does.
Always. I mean, it's just like almost every single conversation about doing business on the web or doing marketing on the web, it comes down to, well, who have you created a relationship with? I just want to give a shout out here that if you have questions for Laura about content amplification or Social Buzz Club or what makes a great post in terms of making it shareable, be sure to post it in the events conversation area below the video here that you're watching, and we'll do our best to get it in front of Laura so she can answer it. You talked about the headline, and you mentioned, the classics, how to and numbers. What else are you seeing in terms of content that gets shared? Has anything surprised you about the kind of content that gets shared? Maybe that's a better question.
Trending topics get shared a lot more. So if there's something happening in, an election or celebrities, if you tie it in to what's trending and what's current, then they get shared a whole lot more. Also, the how-tos are getting shared the most. The other things are things that are universal. So if you have really niche specific stuff, your stuff will get shared. Just don't expect the larger numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So your blogs, you might want to have a variety of really, if you have a niche, and then do something like celebrating 4th of July in style. If you're a fashion person, celebrating 4th of July, something that's timely, current in the seasons, trending in popularity. Content. It's also, I've heard this over and over again, you hear it from video people, what makes something go viral? It's hit or miss. The more in the zone you are and in alignment with your own brand and the message and the commitment you have to make a difference, the more your stuff's going to get shared. And some things will be super hit, and some people will be, some will not be, but it's learning, it's tweaking, it's also timing. So in the beginning of the week, people go onto Social Buzz Club a little bit more. That's another thing. Time it so it's there early in the week for people to have. If you go in on the Saturday night, you're probably not going to get as much sharing done. Or
Okay, well that's a good tip. I wasn't, I go in and share when I'm posting my own thing. That's probably what a lot of people do. It's like, well, maybe I have a new article to post, so I post it and then I go through and check out what's in my realm of subject matter. I'm not going to share something that's about cooking because my audience would not understand why I'm sharing that. They expect certain things from me. So, that's how I do it anyway. But one of the things I really like about the Social Buzz Club is that you can create, your own buzz group.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so you can indicate which people's content you love and or people who regularly share on your behalf because you want to share back with them. And when you put them in your Buzz group, it's just a little plus sign in the Buzz feed. You can go to your Buzz group feed and see what their most recent posts are so you can then go share it. It's kind of a filtering system, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak, and a way to find great content.
Okay. So I have a question that just came up that this is a really good question from Dina Eisenberg. She says, what's the best practice for thanking people for shares and retweets? Because I imagine that's a part of the etiquette of buzzing each other, right?
Yeah, the nice thing is when somebody shares a post of mine or retweets a post, if I see it, sometimes it goes beyond me, but especially if it's a new person or someone who's done it over and over and over again, I like to mention them in a tweet and thank them with a reply. And sometimes if there's a lot of people sharing the same one, I'm going to reply to many at the same time and thank them. Now, the cool thing is when they've mentioned you, you're then thanking them. You might even engage them in something like, I hope you liked XYZ, or didn't you love that, or great to see you're implementing this, and you're starting a dialogue. The more interaction you get in mentions, the higher your clout score is going to be. So this system really helps people build their influence as well, which means other people are going to see you, and then your visibility gets amplified as well as your content, your influence gets
Right.
amplified.
Okay, you just brought up clout. And I'll be honest, I don't pay that much attention to clout, but maybe you could talk about it for the audience, for those who may not be that familiar with it. Why should we pay attention to it?
Well, the big trend now is influencer marketing. So brands are willing to pay people if they have influence. Clout is a way, and it's Klout for those of you who don't know, clout.com, Klout.com, and it's a scoring service that scores you based upon, it goes out to all your social networks if you allow it to. By default, it starts with Twitter, and so everybody gets a score if they have a Twitter account. And if you hook up your other accounts to it, then your score is going to go up because it shows you're engaged on other platforms. The more people are mentioning you, sharing your content, engaging with you, the higher your clout score is. So, did I answer your question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what is the benefit of
So,
doing
the
that for the content provider?
so first of all, it's a way of people seeing how influential an algorithm thinks you are, really. But it's not subjective, it's actually objective based upon stats. So if people see this, the higher your score, the more they, if you're someone to be known, the more engagement you'll get, number one. Then brands notice, and you'll get more attention from brands if you want it. Like Cloud gives you perks. Like the other day I got brownie bites from some company that offered a perk through even
I want brownies.
cloud.com. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and there were all kinds of, like, I could have gone to a premiere last night in Los Angeles for the new whatever his name is, movie, Tom Cruise movie, I think it is. And so there's kind of perks you can get with it, in other words, and Cloud calls them perks. The other thing is the influence when you're talking to client. It's a credibility thing. Clients may or may not know about Clout, so it just means you're more widely accessible
Mm-hmm.
and people are engaging with you. It's a way for your own self in general. It's not like a hard and fast for sure, because I've seen people with lower cloud scores than me who I think are great thought leaders, and I don't understand why they have a low cloud score, but it's just because on the social networks, they're not engaging as much.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense. So getting back to Social Buzz Club, why would we actually want to use Social Buzz Club versus just using a tool like Hootsuite, for example, which I use every day, or Buffer, or TweetDeck, or any one of those tools? What's the difference between using Social Buzz Club and one of these other tools?
hmm They're completely different purposes in a sense. I use Hootsuite for my own stuff to curate out my own stuff more and to respond to people who are responding to me. And every once in a while, I'll share somebody else's stuff. But 71% of tweets never get retweeted.
Mm.
And if you go to the Social Buzz Club, you put in your own content and you get 10 people sharing it, you just got the effect of 10 retweets.
Right.
Not only that, within 1 hour, your tweet that you put out there initially is gone. It's like never going to be retweeted again because people aren't going to see it. It's so far down. But in the Social Buzz Club, those 10 tweets that 10 different members shared out to their organization did it at 10 different times. It wasn't in that 1 hour. And the reason I use the 1 hour stat is because I think it's like 6% of all tweets get retweeted and it's within the first hour. Or 96% of all retweets happen within the first hour, and only 6% of them are tweeted. So now you're definitely going to get some tweets, and they're going to go out at all kinds of different times, expanding that reach. So that's something that Hootsuite can't guarantee, because we're seeing that 96% of tweets don't get retweeted. But you put something in the Social Buzz Club, 96% of what gets put in the Buzz Club gets buzzed.
Right.
So, and it's not done necessarily by influencers when it's on Hootsuite. We have a network of influencers, people who are content experts. So, and you can target, you can choose, the people are choosing you to share your content. And so that's what they're going to, their market wants to see your content. So
Right.
it's also targeted.
Do you have stats on how much retweeting? So I post something, 10 people tweet it. Do you have stats on how much farther out it goes? Like how much retweeting happens on those retweets, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, if you use the Google shortener in our tool, and you take that link and you click on the plus sign, you can see how many clicks you got on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is a site called tweetreach.com. If you take the entire tweet, put it in, it'll show you exactly how far that went. It's really astounding. I put in some the other day, and it was like a 300,000 reach for this one tweet.
Wow.
Social Buzz Club. Yeah, it was really nice.
Great. Okay, I have another question here from Jackie. She says, do you think a blog is absolutely necessary if you engage on most of the social networks?
I think you and I in unison should say yes.
Yes. Oh my, yes. And it's interesting that this question comes up a lot. Why do I need a blog if I've got Facebook? So, people have probably heard my take on this. Why don't you share your take on it?
Okay, well, my take on do you absolutely need a blog is because, what people are talking about these days, and it's always been true, you want to make your website, your blog site, your home, your hub. You do not own your Facebook followings. You do not own your Twitter connections. You do not own your LinkedIn followers or connections. And if all those places shut down tomorrow, you need to have your own community, your own base, your own email list. And a blog is a great way to start showcasing who you are and have the content that is all about you and what you offer people. It's your own real estate, as they say. Social media is rented land. Don't build your business on rented land is what they say, right? Because Facebook could shut you down, or something could happen and all your content goes bye-bye, you know. It's
Right.
like don't rely on them. Build your own community and your own hub and all roads. The beautiful thing about social media is that it's a great way to drive traffic to your website. And hopefully your website does a really good job of converting people to leads and then from leads into sales.
Yes.
And if you don't have that system in place, that whole funnel kind of system, then maybe you don't need a blog. If you don't want business, you don't need a blog. But if you do, you want to build the blog and build the funnel, and then use social media to drive prospects, contacts, leads into that funnel.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. I say the same thing, and it's good for people to hear different perspectives, that it's not just me carrying the blogging flag, which I have been doing since 2004, if you can believe that. It's been a decade. But I think a lot of people forget that the social networks do not belong to them. So always have your own home base, always. And am I making the assumption that if you're watching this show, that you do have a business, or you're planning on having a business that for which you're using online tools? And so please have a blog or a website, something. So, okay. I have got another question here that I want to go to quickly from Ari. I'm probably not pronouncing your name right. Ari Morch. Sorry if I mangled that. Do you recommend Google Plus Hangouts for strategic targeted marketing? If so, do you have some basic Hangout tips for reach out to your targeted market? All those arcets. So what's your take on that, Laura?
Well, I love Google Plus Hangouts because it's free, because it works really well. I think it's on fire. And so I do recommend it for strategic target marketing, because one of the things you can do on Google Plus is circle people in your target market, and then you can invite them through these Hangouts that you make public as events. They become events on your Hangout, and they show up on their Google calendars. So if you invite them, if you do it all the way if you do it right, you'll have to learn how to do it, but it can be very targeted. And the more people who circle you because you're putting out information for this targeted market, I think it's a really nice circle of a marketing circle, where you can create a group. You can then tell the group about the event. You can invite people to the event, and it shows up on their calendars. Then once you do the Hangout, it's in your YouTube. Your YouTube is all set up for the public. It's searchable. You optimize it. It's a beautiful thing. It mushrooms out in benefits.
I agree. I'm a total evangelist. I love Google Hangouts. I love Google Plus, and I think that it's probably one of the most powerful tools that has come along in quite a while. I was like totally on the blogging bandwagon really fast, and now I'm on the Hangout bandwagon, because I think that, as you've just described, that viral capability of it, that you do one thing, like we're here talking today, live, right now, on a video, to people who are listening to us and commenting and interacting with us. It's being recorded automatically, and then as soon as I click stop broadcast, it's on YouTube, and then I can promote it even further. I can put it on my blog, you can put it on your blog, whatever. It's like it's a crazy excellent tool. So I'm right there with you. Okay, so we're almost at the bottom of the half hour, I guess bottom of the hour, so we're almost at the half hour. So what I want to do, and we can answer some of these questions if you have time later today or tomorrow, if you want to go back, there's a couple more questions out there, but what I'd like to first ask you is how can people find you online? Where's the best place that you want them to find you online? So let's start with that question. Find you.
Find me personally if you want to.
Wherever you want
Well,
people to
Social
go.
Buzz Club is socialbuzzclub.com, and you can find me at Coach Laura R on Facebook, facebook.com/Coach Laura R if you want to engage with me on Facebook. In particular, transformtoday.com is my blog, but Social Buzz Club has a great blog, and we put content on there, and we offer our premium members the ability to put their blogs out there too and feature blog posts. So if you're a premium member and you want to blog for us, because we create backlinks to your blogs, we do that. So socialbuzzclub.com is a great resource. You can, for just information there. And then if you want to become a member, you can join us. We have several levels we have two main levels. We have a free and a premium level of membership.
Excellent. So people can join for free and test it out. Is it a limited free offer? Because I'm not on board of what your pricing structure is right now.
Right now, it's free forever. There's a free level, but we make you work a little harder. You're going to have to share a lot more content before you'll be able to submit your own. Mm-hmm. If you want the fastest way to get buzz, then you want to do our ridiculously reasonable premium membership offer, and then we'll feature blog posts for you. You can submit buzz a lot faster. You can earn points faster, and we have a bunch of bonuses for anybody who joins as a premium member too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, so I have a final question before we wrap up, and because this is an adventure, and adventure is really important to me in my life and my business and how I view the world, I would like if you would share with us your most memorable adventure. So whether it was travel, business, life, whatever, whatever it is.
Well, a bunch of travel adventures come to mind because I do love to travel, and one of the ones that is standing out was in 2010 I was in Paris when the Iceland volcano went off.
Oh, wow.
So we were stuck in Paris for 5 extra days.
You poor thing.
And we had to fend for ourselves. No, it was great. It was a weird feeling though, like you couldn't get home. Mm-hmm. But it was lovely to be in this beautiful city in April. Paris. I love Paris in the spring, in April, and it really was a romantic adventure because I was there with my husband, and we were there for a wedding, and we got to spend 5 extra days with family and friends that were there, tromping around the city and looking at this beautiful sky that was blue and sunny, and thinking, where is there a volcano, and why can't we get home again?
Wow, that's very cool. I mean, I can think of a lot worse places to be stranded for 5 days, or unable to get home for 5 days. That would be definitely an excellent excellent place to be. One of my favorite cities in the world. So very cool. Thank you. Okay, so my friends out there in Hangout Land, I thank you for being here with us today, with me and Laura. Remember, you can get advanced notice of Adventures in Visibility by going to adventuresinvisibility.com, and I send out advanced notice of who my guests are coming up, and then also reminders about replays when they're posted on my blog. So if you have to miss it, it won't be forgotten. You will get notice. So Laura, thank you so much for being with me here today. I've been looking forward to this very much because you are definitely a leader in this amplification arena and the buzz arena online, and you have created a fabulous tool for people. And the fact that it's free, I didn't realize it was free. Didn't remember that. And
well, the level of membership you have isn't free, but yes. There is a free level. Mm-hmm.
Right, but that's all the more reason that there is no excuse not to try it out.
Right.
And see what happens. And I would say, well, maybe I should ask one quick follow-up question. This is what happens. I always want one more question. Is how long should someone give, when they're experimenting with using Social Buzz Club, how long should they give it to before they start seeing some results?
They need to actually be participating a few times a week in sharing content. So what I notice is a lot of people get on and share content, but then they never submit one of their own. And then when they submit one of their own, if they did it wrong or they have to get it, give it 4 or 5 different submissions.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have any challenges, we have a help desk, so please contact our, help, socialbuzzclub.com/help area, and we'll help you. We'll go in and analyze what's going on. If you're not getting any shares,
Mm-hmm.
we'll give you that coaching for free. So we'll make sure you get buzz.
Well, I don't know how much better you can ask for. You're going to get free help if you're a little bit confused. Don't you have tutorial videos too?
Mm-hmm. We do. We have quick start videos, which we recommend using. I have a summary video right there on the BuzzFeed page. Is a brand new video for people to get them started in 12 minutes. So
good.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So, folks, I recommend that you check out Social Buzz Club if you are interested in getting a much wider reach on your content. And who doesn't want that? You work hard to create your content. You want to reach more people because we're each one of us by ourselves limited in who we can reach. Some of us might have a big audience, some a small audience, but you always want to be finding new people who are looking for the solution that you provide. And this is one way to do it. And it's a very simple way to do it, and you're building relationships with other people. So, go for it. Right, Laura?
Woohoo! Join us. Let's get more buzz. Let's amplify your influence.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up. Thank you again, Laura. I really appreciate you being here with me today. And for all you out there, have an adventurous day and go check out Social Buzz Club.